Alright guys, we're raking hay. I am raking with the 110C. I don't like raking with this tractor. I think this is the first time I've ever raked with it. I don't like it. It's hard to see the corner of the rake. Can't really see much of the tongue, at least the front part of the tongue. And it's bouncy. I'm only going about 5 miles an hour, and it's bouncing. Normally I would rake with the 70A or the 966. My favorite tractor to rake with is the 966 because you can see really good. You can rake at first high, which is about 7 miles an hour, and it doesn't really bother you riding on it. You know, it's a nice big heavy tractor. This tractor's heavy too, but it's just bouncy. But I didn't really feel like messing with the 966. It only has the one hydraulic remote that works, and I didn't want to have to bring the rake out and set it, then switch remotes. And then the 70, I still can't get the hydraulics to work. I don't have a filter. I don't think it's the problem is the filter. It could be. I think it's just airlocked or whatever. I don't remember what I did to it last time to fix it. So I don't know. I messed around with it a little bit this morning while the dew was burning off, and I could not get it to work. Went and looked for filters. I only had a fuel filter and an oil filter, but no hydraulic filter. Filter that is on it, I'm not even sure. It's not a Case New Holland one, and unless the label's on the back, I don't think it's a Napa one. So I'm not sure. It might be a Fram or what's the other one that you can get right around here? Can't think of it right now, but Wix, might be a Wix. So couldn't get that working. So then I decided, well, I could make a video, do a little raking, make a video of the rake. So the rake is it's working pretty good. So the only problem we have with the rake now is some of the springs are not. Some of the springs are messed up a little bit, so it doesn't spring quite right. I didn't notice the front wheel as you're looking at it, over my right shoulder, that front wheel, that's the one that I got the spring. I found the spring for. I noticed that wheel's a little bouncy. I think it's because the way the spring is, it's got like a little kink in it, and it's just pulling it a little tight. But it's working. It goes up and down. Now I did notice, it still doesn't pick up as high on the one side as it does the other. But it does not. I mean, like that windrow over there, you can see camera there probably. It won't clear that windrow anyway. If it picks it up all the way, it won't clear a windrow. So it's not like, the Pro Kart rakes or the Kuhn or Peckway or any of those where the wings pick up, kind of like arms, wings on a Lamborghini kind of thing. But let's rake, and this is pretty nice hay. It's got some golden in it. I think that's orchard grass that's matured. The Timothy. It's nice and green. I think this field has 2 different kinds of Timothy. I don't remember what to call the other one. One's Climax. I forget what the other one's called. So it's one that's got the, you can tell the difference in it, I think, I'm not sure. You can see that it's got a different, the head on the one Timothy's real long. At least I think that's the difference. But, you know, when you plant it, it's like, whatever, it's different length blooming or whatever. Yeah, like you're going to remember what field, you know, like I'm going to remember what field I put it in, and like, oh, I got to do that field later than others because of that Timothy. But I did notice that some of them are real long, like 4 or 5 inches, maybe longer. And there's some trefoil in here. This field it's a pretty good field. It'd be nice if the orchard grass wasn't browned up, but you can see that everywhere, you know, on my fields, the neighbor fields, everybody's fields. It's just, we've had too much rain, and then we had a couple real hot days, and I mean, it's the 4th of July, you know, old timers back in the day, they'd want to be done with their hay by now. And I wouldn't say I'm just getting started, but we don't have a whole lot done. That wheel bounces a little funny. Thought it was stuck, but it's fine. So I put a little grease on the rake, and gonna round bale this up. I don't know if we're gonna round bale it off today or not. I'm gonna rake it off. It's supposed to be nice nice tonight, nice tomorrow, nice Sunday. So today's 4th of July. I'd like to, I'd like to do something with the kids, and maybe we'll go to, I'm not sure what all's open, and we'll run to Pizza Hut or something like that and try to catch the fireworks somewhere. I don't know if the fireworks are downtown tonight or not. A lot of times, a lot of places have them they just have them Saturday all the time, you know. No matter what day the 4th falls on, they wait till Saturday. But gotta do something with the kids, you know. I don't know, I feel real bad about last summer, and I feel real bad about this summer so far. They're not getting to do kid stuff as much as I would like. You know, Laney's playing softball, and I'm helping coach. She's on the All-Stars, and this week we had practice 3 nights this week, and kids, you know, they're going to horse camp and helping at horse camp, but it's not, you know, Judd doesn't have much interest in that. Letty likes the arts and crafts, but I like to do something with them. You know, got to go to a zoo or something. Can't do that today. I mean, it's July 4th. I'm not going to do that today, but we'll see. Maybe we'll go to Pizza Hut and do something. Or go to go to a movie. You could go to a movie and then try to catch the fireworks somewhere. When I was a kid, we always went to Corning. I had a great uncle that lived in Corning, and he had a house there in Corning, not too far away from. They have a park down there. They have real good fireworks. We always went there. Then after that, they had fireworks down here in Nelson. Was a big deal. The Nelson, I think it was more than just Nelson Fire Company, but I think there's other ones that helped them. And had them down here at Coneski Lake, and then one year they couldn't do it because there was osprey, the birds, and so now they still can't do it. It's been probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years probably. We used to do them at our pond once, you know. We used to do that. We did it a few years. That was back when you had to go get a permit and get the township supervisors to sign it. You had to get I think you had to get a township supervisor to sign it and a representative of a fire company to sign it. And you could get a permit to do them on your own property. It's basically like, I don't know, it wasn't really basically the permit was kind of like acknowledgement that, you know, somebody from the fire company and somebody from the township were aware that you were going to have fireworks, I guess. But I think I got the middle all done. I might have messed up right there, but I think, well, next time we'll go down through and working my way out. Trying to, this field's kind of weird. It's got like a it's got like a dog leg in it. It's narrower on one end. And I always end up with weird windrows. So when you rake, I think I talked about this before, with this rake, you can do what I call build a windrow. So I raked the middle. I think I got that. So I tried to get it so the middle stopped where the other windrow is going to come down around it and go to the end. And I'm pretty sure we're going to end up, you know, with way less windrows on that end, but working pretty good. The other field I raked over here was it's like 4 acres. That was a real pain to rake. It's got 2 clumps of trees in it. It's real narrow on one end. One end is right under the trees on 3 sides. And it's got a little bit of a hill to it. It's not a fun field to rake, especially with this tractor. I just could not see how I wanted to. And so this one's not as bad. I mean, this one at least you don't have to worry about hitting any trees. Only on the outside row, where you don't have, you know, trees on both sides and stuff like that. So I think we got pretty well. Let's see if it's going to work out. I don't know. And up here, like, now my windrow is going to run out, and the other one's already there, so I'm just going to continue it right out and build them together. I'm just going to move over one end, so I'm going to end up with the short ones. End up cutting off the end of the middle ones, so what's going to happen. But it doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. I mean, you're going to end up with pieces that are like up here. I got to rake around the next time. We're going to end up with the middle ones are going to end up being shorter. But I don't want to bale over on this side. I'm just going to, instead of going around like this little turn, I'm just going to straighten them out a little bit. And as long as it all ends up raked and the baler can follow the line, you know. Round baling's a lot easier to follow the line than square baling. Square baling, it's not hard to follow the line, but you're just watching other stuff. You're making sure the bales are, thrower, so you're making sure the bales are getting thrown into the wagon and you're not missing. And if you do miss, you want to miss completely, you know. You don't want to hit the wagon and have it land right in front of the tire. Then you got to stop and get the bale out of the way. Whereas round baling is not quite as bad as far as that goes, of course. I think it's going to work out fine. We'll just get this, and we'll continue. This time we're going to continue it right out, and I think it's going to work out. Might have more on the far side than on this side. I might not quite got because of the way it's got a dog leg, and it's actually got a dog leg with like 2 humps in it. But when you mow, you got to follow the line, you know. And I don't think I didn't cut this one in half because I tried that differently. I used to always cut it in half, and I think I liked the way I did it because I just kept following it around, and I ended up with a triangle in the middle. And that's how I did this. I mowed down here, and then I only got where I was mowing 3 sides of like a triangle. So now we're just gonna cheat over and straighten these right out, take the ends right off of these guys. So I'm going to end up with a little bit in there that I didn't get to. That's all right. We'll come back and touch that up. Guess I should have turned. Should have came out this way. But I like the way I mowed it better than the way I normally do. I normally would cut it, get a bunch down, and then I would cut it in two. And it didn't work too good because it's not anywhere near close to being a rectangle. So what I can do is I can turn right around and go back up this one. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Turn right around and go right back up right next to the one I have, and then I'm going to cut right through. And then come back through and cut back through, and then that should take care of that little section that I missed. And then I'll be good to go around the outside. So, got the disc spine, I got it all tore apart, and the dealership closest to home is not open on the 4th of July. I thought maybe they were going to be open, like they're open at 7:30. I thought maybe they're going to be open 7:30 to noon or something, but they're closed. It's kind of weird because, I don't know, I think if I was the guys that work there, I'd rather work half day today and have the rest of the day today off and then have tomorrow off. Not have today off and then work, they have a half a day, they work 7:30 to 12:30 on Saturday. But whatever. And then this another, so then the next two dealerships would be there's a New Holland dealership, Rogandale's, which just got bought out by Essex, probably an hour and a half away. According to the internet, Google has said they're open today, but it said hours might differ. So my thing was, if I was going to go, I have, hay to do. So if I was going to go, I was going to go first thing, and I was going to be there at 7:30. Woodhall, Larry Romance's son's dealership in Woodhall is about 30 minutes, so about a half an hour, maybe a little more than half an hour to get there. I was just going to get up and leave at 7 and be there early, get the parts, come out, and then the plan was to get the parts, get back to the house, and work on it. Didn't know if I'd get it back together or not, but work on it until I had to go rake hay. I could send my dad to go get it, but it's like, well, what if, I don't know if they still do the core exchange or not. And I'm kind of wondering about the top hat, if the top hat's still okay or not. So I kind of want to just do it myself. That way I either have the parts and I'm ready to put back together, or I know what I'm missing, and I know what I'm waiting on. And if I get there at 7:30 in the morning, the other option is I get there at 7:30 in the morning, they don't have it. They could tell me where somebody does have it, maybe, and then I could run and get it there. Or they could tell me, we'll have it for you tomorrow or Monday or whatever. The weather doesn't look too great. I don't know. One, my watch says that it's going to be nice on Tuesday. So my watch says that I could mow more down, I could mow more maybe Sunday morning to bale Tuesday. But my phone, AccuWeather, says no. AccuWeather says rain. My watch says Actually, they completely disagree. I think my phone says 80% chance of rain Tuesday, and my watch says 5, something like that. I think it says 5. So, and you know, it's all subject to change by the time tonight rolls around, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. Yesterday, I was working on the disc spine. I mean, I thought it was going to be a bad storm. It started raining, and I was under the disc spine and getting wet, and big raindrops. And I'll tell you what, I picked up, tools, threw them in the side by side real quick, took the cameras out and all that. Got home, and I was like, well, I guess I'll find something else to do, getting ready to get out the computer and check for parts or whatever. And all of a sudden, I look outside and the sun is shining. Woodchuck hole. Only one I saw mowing right there. One woodchuck hole. So the sun was shining and it was hot again. So then I went back and started the video back up. But it was calling for more. I mean, my alert on my phone kept going off and everything. It was calling for more. But when I got home there, the sun came out and I checked the radar, and it's like, wow, it went like north of us and just a little bit caught us. And then it was clear after that in the radar, so I'm like, okay. So then I went back and I worked on the disc spine till 4:30 or a little after. I got it all apart, and I think it was about 4:30. And I didn't even know it. I wasn't even paying attention at the time. And went home and had to get quick something to eat. Kids and I got a quick something to eat. Then Lainey and I had to go to softball practice. So ended up being just the right amount of time to get it apart. I don't know what happened. I think what happened was that I didn't see anything that hit. But instead of with that first one, that first module doesn't have a Shock Pro hub. It's an actual full spline hub. And I think it must have hit something, but I don't know what, because I did not see any rocks or anything. So instead of breaking since the hub wouldn't break it, whatever you call it, I don't know, sheared off, boogered up the end of that spline. I'm gonna cut through here and clean up this end a little bit. So I think it probably was still, I got thinking about it, I think it probably was still in there as far as it was supposed to be. It just torqued the spline off. Yeah, I mean, you hit something, you can't shut it down fast enough. It doesn't, you're not really, you shut it down fast enough that the knives don't get so bad that they start coming apart. But other than that, as far as the inside and everything, the damage is going to be done in something like that. Damage is going to be done in a split second. I'm glad we got it apart and it wasn't nearly as bad as last time, and I got it on blocks, and I don't think I'm going to have too much trouble putting it back together. Might have to get one of my kids or somebody to help me put the bolts in to get it back up on the frame, but hopefully they should have the parts. I don't think it's going to be anything you got to wait for. So we're going to rake this up. We're going to take the time to rake the whole field. I don't know if we're going to bale the whole field today or not, but we're going to take the time to rake the whole field. YouTube might not be too happy with me, but my daughter Lainey wants to drive tractor. So when I get up here to this field, the round bale, I'll probably let her do a little bit, because this is not a bad field to round bale. I mean, it's not steep or anything. It's not flat, but it's not steep. So now we're just going to fix this up and get this all straightened out here. So I'm just going to let her bale. I mean, at some point, you know, YouTube and other people might not like it, but I mean, this is a cab tractor. This, you know, this is a newer tractor. Something happens, all you have to do is turn the key off. Now it does have park gear, you know, but if you turn the key off, it's going to stop. I don't think it'll roll. And, you know, she's not going to be alone today. I don't think she's going to be alone driving tractor for a while, but cell phones and walkie-talkies, and, you know, I've seen videos on Facebook and where there's kids way smaller than 10 years old driving tractor. And, you know, I can't do it all by myself, and I'm getting to the point now where I don't want to do it all by myself. You know, so is she gonna bail by herself this year? Probably not. Is she gonna bail with me? Probably. You know, I'd like her to be a little taller. Wouldn't hurt, but you know, why not let her bail a little bit? I mean, I know kids that 4 or 5 years old drove tractor, you know. And I'm not saying that I need her to be my slave. She can do it if she wants to, and if she doesn't want to, she doesn't have to. But she said she wanted to, so might as well try it. You know, I don't think she's going to be able to drive the 986 to the 966. But round baling, to me, as far as driving the tractor and steering and keep an eye on what you're doing, about the two easiest things I can think of for her to do would be disking, right? Just pulling a set of discs. I mean, there's, you know, the only moving things are the tractor, and the discs are only moving because you're pulling them, right? And they just follow you. You know, it's like pulling a wagon or pulling a trailer. And round baling. Now, round baling got the PTO, but once you get going and you have twine and everything, there's no reason to really get out. Once in a while, I might have mine where it doesn't trip, and I will get out and trip it, but she doesn't have to do that. So, I mean, it basically follows you around like a trailer. And you have to watch the stop sign and stop and move the lever to dump the bale out and move the lever back to close the door, and that's it. I mean, that's, you know, the biggest thing with the round baler is you can't turn sharp. You know, I mean, you can turn, you can't go back up one row and back down the other. If you leave a row in between, you're good. If you leave 2 rows in between, that's even better. And that's not a hard thing to learn. You know, and don't try to turn sharp. Just go ahead and turn around. It takes, you know, 20 seconds to turn around. Even though you're going in a tractor, you're going 4 miles an hour, and it seems like it takes 10 minutes. It really doesn't take that long to turn around and go at it again. So we'll call this a video, a little bit of rake-in action, a little bit of farmer talk, disc bind, round baling talk, YouTube kid talk. We'll call it a video. We'll catch back up. We'll probably do a video with Laney baling. You know, I kind of decided with the pitching machine, I don't know if anybody watched that video, but maybe it's time for the kids to be involved a little bit. I don't know if but I would probably have Rachel convinced to be a little bit part of the videos by now. I don't know. Maybe she'd be like some of the other wives and not want to be it, but, or maybe she'd be all for it. So the kids are all for it. They're like, hey, you know, they all want their own YouTube channels. Except for Judd. I mean, he's 6, but he probably wants his own YouTube channel too. It's a big thing with kids, you know. Kids in 5th and 6th grade, they all want to be YouTubers. So I think it's for them to be on the videos with me is a good, safe way to get started. And, you know, I'm sure somebody's going to comment and say, I got a 10-year-old driving tractor. Well, farm, you know, what I have to say that is farm kids live a different life. I mean, I lived a different life than my friends in school. My neighbors lived a different life than friends in school, and you know, that's just the way my kids, they live a different life than their friends in school. That's just the way it is. You know, my kids all have 4-wheelers. Judd's the only one that doesn't ride by himself, but he's probably going to do that this summer. He wants to. Get the right time, he's going to start riding by himself. And, you know, it's just a different life. They do things that, you know, but it doesn't mean that they're not, just because they're doing it and they're young, doesn't mean that it's not safe. So, that's about all I'm going to say about that. So we're going to call it a video. Please like and subscribe. And stay tuned for more from Triple D Farms, Triple D Maple, and Triple D Cabins. We'll catch you on the next one. Have a great day. Alright guys, we're round baling. So I got the little field down there. I think that's like 4 acres. Got that done. Came up here. This hay up here looks real nice. It's 258. So kind of started raking a little bit late. Not too happy. I couldn't rake too fast with this tractor. So I mean, I figured I probably was about 25% slower raking than I would have been if I'd used the 966 or the Farmall 70. So I didn't rake this one side right here. Ended up somehow, I guess because the way that I raked the middle, I ended up real odd. So I ended up with extra hay on this side than on the other side. And I don't know if I'm going to bale it all today or not. Probably not. I'm probably going to bale for an hour or so and then quit for today. And so I'll just have to rake up the outside and bale it tomorrow. I have more hay down another 4-acre field, and then I have about 6 acres of another field, about half. That field's about 12 or 13 acres. I probably have about half of it done. Maybe not quite half. That's where the disc spine broke on me. So, weather tomorrow is supposed to be nice. Supposed to be, you know, today's July 4th, tomorrow's July 5th. It's supposed to be hotter tomorrow, I think. I think today was high of 79 or 80, and I think tomorrow's like 85. So I don't really want to bale all night, so it won't hurt it to be raked here and left for tomorrow. tomorrow I will rake with a different tractor. I'll probably rake with the 966, but I can't get the 70 figured out. But got to run to get the parts for the disc spine first thing in the morning, and I'll be on the rake tractor right at 10 o'clock. Should take me about hour and a half to rake, something like that. So I'll be ahead tomorrow. Might have more to bale tomorrow, but I didn't get started baling today till after, I think it was 1 o'clock. So I could bale about 4 acres an hour, I guess, if it's probably 1:30, so I probably bale about 3 acres an hour, I guess. So bale this till, I don't know, it's about 3 o'clock now, so might bale for an hour, might bale for 2 hours. And then, like I said, tomorrow, of course, there is a chance I could maybe get somebody else to bale tomorrow. I might do that. I might ask my neighbor if he'll come run the baler and tractor for me. Because that would free me up to work on the disc spine. You know, if I get back with the parts at about 8:30 probably, I'd have an hour and a half or so to work on the disc spine before I had to start raking. So if he came bale, then I could go back to working on the disc spine. Or if he baled for a little while, I could work on the disc spine, then finish baling. But Lainey decided she didn't want to drive tractor today. She's messing around, actually riding Judd's 4-wheeler. We had a hard time getting it running. I finally got it running the other day, and it's got a little Polaris 50. I remember his is they changed the name of them. I can't remember if it was a Predator or Prowler, but I had to take the spark plug out of it, and about 3 times I think I took the spark plug out of it, and finally figured out I thought it wasn't getting gas, and I don't know what the deal was with the gas, but then I finally figured out that it didn't like to be choked. You don't choke it, but you hold the throttle, it seemed to start right up. This little bugger's got, you know, these little tiny starters, and little tiny batteries. So it doesn't take too long, and you can wear the battery down. But I got it running and got it over the house, and I think I've taken the spark plug out of it 3 times. But I've been able to get it started. So then Lainey got it started today by herself. So that must mean that it was running all right. Got to get some spark plugs. Letty's is the same way now. Letty's, hers is a 50. Hers is a little bit older. They changed the name. I can't remember. One of them's a Predator, one's a Prowler, or something like that. Or no, Outlaw. Yeah, Letty's is an Outlaw, and I think Judd's is a Predator, Prowler. Anyway, but the guy that had Letty's was into race cars. He raced sprint cars or whatever, so he had worked on that 4-wheeler and made it so that it ran better. I don't know what he did something to the carburetor, because hers never likes to be choked. It starts right up without being choked. I don't really know a whole lot about them, but I guess they have really tiny carburetors, and they're known for getting dirty and not working as good. But the biggest thing I ever know about them is, which I always have a hard time doing, is you got to run them. You know, the kids you got to start them once in a while. You know, you would have a lot less trouble with them if you remember to start them once in a while, even in the wintertime. Even if you're not going to ride, just start it. You know, you put that gas stuff in there. I never think to do that either, the stable or whatever. And then Lainey has a 200 Phoenix. The same thing with that. She doesn't ride it enough. It's brand new, 2023. Got it for her, brand new. Actually had to order it, and but she doesn't ride it enough. And for some reason, the battery acts all dumb on that one. Doesn't want to. It acts like it's charged, and then you go to start it, and it'll start today. And then the next, you take the battery charger off of it. The next day, you go to start it, and it'll act like the battery's dead, and it just doesn't get run. Whereas if you got it started and just ran the crap out of it for a couple hours, it probably would run a lot better the next time, you know. I mean, it's not even broke in for what little she's rode it. It's a nice four-wheeler. Big enough for an adult to ride. I mean, it doesn't go, you know, super fast, but it's got real comfortable suspension. Big enough for me to ride. I mean, it's a little small for me, but not real small. But it's plenty of four-wheeler for her for what it does. It's one thing that Rachel and I used to do with the kids a lot. We used to go four-wheeler, just ride around the farm. Especially when the hay gets off, it's a lot more fun. And, you know, one of the kids would ride with me, one kid would ride with Rachel, and then Lainey would ride by herself. And Rachel actually, I mean, I give her credit. She actually is the one that taught Letty how to ride four-wheeler by herself. I think we both kind of taught Lainey. I got to get Judd going on his. He can ride by himself, but he hasn't done it too much, I don't think. But you got to have a four-wheeler, you know. That's why you got to have a four-wheeler that, you know, starts good and runs good for him. Because you know, if it doesn't start right up, it's going to get old. And they have kickstart, but it doesn't. It's hard for me to kickstart them because they're so small. My foot's so big, and it's hard for the kids. Period, you know. So get them running, you got to ride them, and we're going to start riding now. We got a bunch of hay off the fields, and we're going to start riding them more. I like to ride. We have two adult, you know, two four-wheelers. I have two Honda Ranchers. One is the 2010, what they call the AT, so it's got the foot shifter, automatic clutch. And the other one's a 2017, and that one is electronic shift, power steering. They had them on sale for 1 year for, I don't know, it was a leftover, I think. I must have got it in 2018. It was a leftover, you know, still under warranty, all that crap, but got quite a bit off of it. The only problem was that I had to get a green one. I'm not crazy about the green. I mean, it's all right. I'm not crazy about it. I like red Hondas, but so, you know, I would ride one of them. Rachel would ride one. It's not crazy for me to, even though it's not safe to ride four-wheeler with 2 or 3 kids on it. Just to ride from the barn to the house or whatever. Kids will be at the barn and be bored and want to go home, and so they'll hop on with me. I've always liked four-wheeler. I mean, I started riding four-wheeler, must have been 7. My brother and I got a 1986 Honda 4Trax 125. So I was 7. I remember it had an automatic clutch with a foot shifter. I can remember I couldn't shift it when I first got it. I shifted with my hand, and I kept trying and working at it. And finally my my ankle got strong enough that I could shift it. And man, I rode that four-wheeler all over the place. I rode it every day. Then when I got into farming a little bit, started helping my neighbors. Well, actually, I started going to the neighbor kids, helping them do chores so they had time to play. We'd play wiffle ball or basketball or whatever, and if I helped to do their chores, then they would have more time to play. That's kind of how it started. And I helped one neighbor farm, then I helped the other neighbor farm. They both had kids that were about my age, and then I kind of drove a little tractor here and there for them, and one neighbor rented our farm, and that's kind of how I got interested in that part of it. John Deere 5200 was like 40, not quite 50 horsepower, something like that. Can't remember. I think it was like 48 horsepower or something. But it had a hydraulic remote, and we did stuff with that. I raked hay with it. Then I got into plowing. So my neighbors had 2 sets of plows. They had like a 4 or 5 bottom, I can't remember. 4 or 5 bottom, and they had 3 bottom. And I used the 3 bottom of theirs, and I did a lot of plowing with those 3 bottom plows for them. And he ended up that he gave those plows to me. I still have them. I think they're Massey Ferguson's, like 15 inch or 4. I think they're 15 inch, 3 bottom, 15 inch plows, 3-point hitch, and they were great on that John Deere. It would pretty much pull them anywhere you wanted to. Put 4 bottoms on it, they would pull 4 bottom John Deere plows, but it struggled, here and there. Then we got a loader for it, and then we used it a lot more. Then we ended up trading that in on the Farmall 70, which is probably was a mistake, because the Farmall 70 is not. It's got a lot of power, but it's not very well built. Other than that, I don't like the shifter. There's a lot of things I don't like about it. The loader. But at the time, the John Deere was 20 years old, and no, maybe more than that. I guess it was almost 30 years old. It's in 1996, in the 70s, 2017. So yeah, and the John Deere was starting to have more and more little things go wrong with it, and the biggest one was the guy where. Not sure what the problem was. I think it probably needed new fuel lines. Somebody said, "Oh, the fuel lines are probably getting bad and getting water in them or whatever, condensation." It got where it was really hard to start in the winter. 70 only has not started once, I think, this winter, but it's got it's 70 horsepower or 72 horsepower. It's got a lot of power, but it doesn't weigh hardly anything. Once it's going, it's got a lot of power and it drives nice, but I don't like the shuttle shift on it. I don't like the high-low range shifter on it. The 1, 2, 3, 4 over there's over on your side. That's fine, but it's very, well, I guess they call it it's an economy tractor. It's got a lot of stuff where it's like going back in time. Like it looks like tractors, well, it's a lot like our Kubota, which was, back in the early 80s. The platform that platform for your feet, the shift levers, everything's just kind of older looking, but unfortunately, we kind of stuck with it for, I would like to get rid of it, but stuck with it for the time being anyway. The C series is much better. This one here, the only thing I don't, this 110C, the two things I don't like about this one is the way it bounces, and I don't know if it's because of the loader. It very well might be because of the loader, but it could definitely use some more weight. That didn't work. One side didn't tie. Check it out. So one side didn't tie, and a lot of times that's just because it gets doesn't get as much hay. So that side is, let's see if it's going to work now. So that side's just a little bit smaller, and it didn't quite catch the twine coming out of the needle. So I don't know if it's gonna. What I'm gonna do is just drive ahead just a tad bit, get a big wad. See if that wad will start it. See, that did it right there. A little bit of experience that you learn. So I could have probably kept driving, but then you're putting it in the other side too. So then it would have hay on the outside, the string on the other side. So you'll see if it, you see, I don't know if we'll be able to see the bale or not, but it does have a spot in the center that didn't get tied. Then it'll be fine. So this 110C, two things I don't like about it. It's a little on the light side. It's bouncy. I mean, I know people that bale. I'm round baling at 4 miles an hour. I know people that bale a lot faster. You know, it's got to have a lot to do. Now, it could be, you know, fields are a little rough, things like that, but it just bounces like forward and back. I don't know if it's because of the loader or what, but like I said, I'd like to get the tires loaded and add whatever weight you could. I don't know if you could put the thing on the front where the weights would sit. You know, now they make the brackets where the brackets are a couple 100 pounds too. And I like taking the loader off because you can round bale fine with the loader on. With the spears, it's not that heavy. It's not like hurting it. The loader doesn't. This loader on this tractor is heavy duty. This loader does not wiggle. I mean, I've never seen it bounce, you know, on its own. But then the other thing I don't like about it is the 3-point hitch arms. And I have looked at them and looked at them and looked at them. They do not. It just does not have a lot of travel. So even if you're moving round bales with a 3-point hitch arm on this tractor, they do not go down real far, and they do not travel up very far. It's got the handle back there that's supposed to be like a thing so you can adjust them, so you can hook them up better or whatever. I don't know if that's part of the problem or not, but I would just assume. I've never seen a tractor that has such little travel with the 3-point hitch arms. The 70 arms go way down and way up. The 966 are just about, I mean, you put the 966, you can put the 3-point hitch arms just about on the ground, and then they go way up. I mean, they get down there probably 6 inches off the ground, or maybe even a little closer. So that's the only two things I don't like about this tractor. It runs good. It'd be nice if it had shovel shift, but for what it is, it's, you know, the shuttle shifts are, I think you have to get the Maxim MX series to get shuttle shift, and they're basically same horsepower. A lot of things are the same. I don't know about wheelbase, stuff like that, but they're basically, you buy a Maxim, the same horsepower, and it's got, you know, shuttle shift and a few things like that, but they're probably $20,000 or $30,000 more. I would love, don't get me wrong, I'd love to have a Maxim 125, but this one here, you know, we'll just add some. I'm gonna get the tires loaded before the summer's over, probably. I want to do some fall plowing. But it's not a bad day. I mean, we're just bailing around. It's not real hot. Forgot my sunglasses when I went for lunch, so it's a little bit bright once in a while, but not too bad. The tractor's got a little dust on the windows, so it kind of cuts down on the light glare a little bit. This is nice hay up here. I wish we would have, wish I'd have got the weather on the right day to get to square bale it. I was like trying to decide where to mow. Got four fields, well, 5 fields left over here on the home farm, and I really do like to square bale this field. And then I was like, well, we'll round bale it and maybe square bale a different one. I mean, it's getting, you know, the orchard grass turn, but it's nice hay. I mean, we're getting quite a few round bales for what I've done. I've only been around the outside, like, this is my 3rd time around, so but yeah, it's pretty nice hay. This field, oh, it's been 6 or 8 years. Got hog manure on it, and then we plowed it and planted. Late that year, we plowed, planted in the fall. We actually planted oats and seeded it back. And it was kind of neat because the oats came up, I think it might have been September. Man, the oats came up, and what happened was the deer just annihilated the oats. I mean, they ate every last oat that came up. And then the next year, the hay that was up here was just awesome. And it's been pretty good since then. It's got, you know, got a few weeds, not too many though. It's not really all that many weeds. I got lime on about half of it. I still have to do the middle. Got the lime last fall, and got the lime spreader. You know, I spread that one day. I have drone foot. Alright, we're back. Got to finish up the video here. So, just haven't had time to spread lime, so I'm hoping to get some hay off, and then, you know, get one of them days where there's a chance of rain, but it doesn't look like it's really going to rain, and come out here and finish spreading lime on this field. But my SD card and the camera actually got full, and so the camera on me actually shut down. So we'll have to edit a little bit out of the video where we're just sitting there. But we're going to call it a video anyway. Rambled on enough about everything. Please like and subscribe to this video, and stay tuned for more for Triple D Farms, Triple D Maple, and Triple D Cabins. And have a great day. Thanks for watching.